we're live now.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Turning Point. I'm sorry, I messed that up.
Actually, I don't know if we're live. I don't see us live.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live?
Yes, yes.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me, Giovanni?
Yes.
Welcome to Coaches and Coffee with Sheila James. I'm so excited to be here with you this Monday morning. I have a phenomenal transformational coach. He's one of my dear friends. He's here with us to talk about creating a turning point. I mean, I think we're all about there. We're pandemic fever out, fatigued out, concerned out. So, hello, Giovanni. How are you?
Good morning, Sheila. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for agreeing to be with us this morning. Seriously, I was saying what I said just a few minutes ago, but it is time for, I know for me, a turning point in my life. I know during this pandemic, it's been the opportunity to examine everything, to relook at things, how I live my life, my business, my son, what I care about. So I want to just start today with really opening this up with, talk to us about a turning point or creating a turning point in your life.
Yes, I am passionate about creating turning points in our life, and that conversation is a real close to everything I do. Right, I believe it's our birthright to have a great quality of life.
Mm-hmm.
And but a human being that creates a great quality of life, it's a human being that either accidentally bumps into the tools that allows for people to create that life. I don't think that is intuitive. Personally, I don't think is intuitive to create a great quality of life. I think people need to train themselves to be able to do that. I think that the way the brain works on its own, in its own devices, has a very survival mechanism. Like it's always looking for something to fix, or something is wrong, or where is the threat?
Yeah.
And if I operate my life looking to fix something, or looking for something wrong, or looking for a threat, then what comes out of that, it's a life of a lot of fires, putting out fires everywhere, and a lot of stress, and a lot of pressure, not just for me, but for the people around me, because I'm operating that way.
Yeah.
So I love having the conversation of how to create a turning point in one's life.
Good. And then you and your business partner, Sorrel Kaitan, have actually created a program and a conversation about creating a turning point. And I really do hear what you're saying, because sometimes, when you look at people who are, yesterday, for example, I was watching TV and I watched part of the PGA golf tour tournament, and professionals and how they think and how they engage. And then I watched the Oprah special with Meghan Markle. And then there was the NBA All-Star game and the slam dunk. And, oftentimes you've heard Steve Harvey say, I had 35 cents in my pocket. I was sleeping in the car. And somewhere in their lives, there is a turning point. Like life wasn't always the way maybe that it is now. So, share with us your insight or your professionalism or, some of the curriculum into what this event is going to be about.
Yes, something that I always like to say is that in the context of like Steve Harvey, you said,
Yes.
is that when he was sleeping in his car with 35 cents in his pocket, the turning point for his life happened before.
Mm,
That's where he wound up by not being responsible for something. So there was like a missing piece in where he was to
mhm,
cause that in some degree financial breakthrough. But I say that his turning point happened before.
mm,
That was the time where he had to take responsibility for something he wasn't taking responsibility for. But how the pieces of how to be the public figure that he is now, and how to put a show together, and how to have people come together and have a
yeah.
conversation, that happened way before. And
Uh-huh.
so in our curriculum for Turning Point, and we're going to have this conversation next week, Saturday, or March 20th, whenever you're hearing this, at 3 o'clock. It helps people support two things. It supports people to understand what gets in the way from them being in action about those things that they know. If they are in action in their life, it will make a difference, or it will create a turning point, or it will create the results in their life.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, people know what they need to do. They know it. Conceptually, they know it. Like if they have a business, they know who they need to be talking to, who they need to be making calls to. They know they have a good idea of the strategy that they need to take on, but they don't do it. They're doing something else. And so in Turning Point, we discover, well, why do I keep doing something that is not building the life I want to have? Why do I keep going in that direction? They discover the why. And also they discover, we go to work on how to align myself in taking the actions that I know will create a turning point in my life, rather than another action. For example, I'm just going to make an example that is not on the course. People deal
Yeah.
with anxiety all the time.
Yes.
And so they're anxious constantly. And so the way that they deal with the anxiety, say, for example, is by cleaning the kitchen. Oh, I got to go clean the kitchen. I got to go do that right now. And then once I have that kitchen all cleaned up, then I'm going to start making those calls, or I'm going to start doing what I know creates a turning point financially in my life, if we concentrate on that area. Well, having the kitchen clean is not going to move your business at all. So you could let your kitchen rotten and have a breakthrough in your business, but that brain is not going to do it because it solves the issue of being anxious by cleaning the kitchen, and then the business is not helping. Or in a relationship, for example. So I know I need to have a conversation with my significant other to take responsibility for something.
Mm-hmm.
Like my significant other did a lot of dumb things, and I'm not going to excuse them, but there's something I do want to take responsibility for. And I know that if I do take responsibility for that, that will help my relationship. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm I'm going to do something else. And
This
it
is
never
so
causes.
good.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna hang out with my friends, or I'm gonna concentrate on my business, or I'm gonna concentrate cleaning the kitchen. But I'm not gonna have that conversation with my significant other, and that relationship does not cause a turning point. And I'm waiting for my significant other to take responsibility for something. Always, just that's an example for you. And so, go ahead, Sheila.
Let me say so it's kind of like in creating and causing a turning point. Let's say, I know I'm now, pretty new in the entrepreneurial field solo, but the truth is my last job was totally entrepreneurial. But and I keep doing the same thing over, or you get right to a point. It could be as simple as, you use an example. It's like I'm about to do one thing, work on something, and the next thing you know, I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
And I do that every day, right about the same time. It's like, so it seems like, I'm really listening here, that we stop ourselves from doing that thing that would actually cause us or create a turning point, like, or maybe what I'm hearing is you've got to stop and create that.
Yeah, there in the context of this workshop, if you will,
Okay.
we discover it's critical to discover that sensation, that emotion that is not distinguished, that takes me out of staying in action in those things that matter to me in my life.
Uh-huh.
Like the body reacts, like the body has an automatic reaction to some kind of threat. So in my business, for example, I have a list of people I need to call that are business owners, that have a certain number of employees, they do a certain number of revenue. And I need to call them, I need to create a relationship with them. And so they are on my phone. And the moment I'm going to dial, then I think, let me just tighten in the curriculum for Turning Point. And I don't make the call, but I go concentrate on something else. In that moment when I'm going to make that phone call, there is a sensation, there's a body sensation, there's a reoccurring pattern that takes me out of my game.
Yeah.
By recognizing it when it's happening, the sensation in my stomach, the sensation in my back, that's the sensation that takes me out of the game. By recognizing it, now I have a new power, because now it's not undistinguished. Now I can push through, even with the sensation. So by practicing this, then all of a sudden, when I have that sensation, my brain has a new automatic response. In my case, for example, whenever I have that sensation of anxiety and fear, I know that I'm close to an action I need to take. So whenever I have that sensation, now I go for it. Not because I'm special, it's just that I now recognize the sensations in my bodies that take me out of the game I want to. And so now when I have it, I just go for it. And then I just like close my eyes, throw myself in the pool, I make the phone call, and I start babbling, and I'm old enough now to not make a mess of myself.
Yeah.
But then I discover in that moment, I discover in that conversation, the miracle of being in action.
Great. Yeah. Yeah, this is great. So for everyone out here listening today to Coaches and Coffee, what I'm hearing you say is, and it takes something, but it's just like the way a professional works, or if you're a profession in your field in some area, you've got to practice. No, first you got to recognize your patterns.
Yes.
You got to recognize those things that take you out of creating that turning point, or creating actions that are going to forward what you're up to in your life, or your intentions in your life, or your goals in your life, so to speak. Yes.
Yes.
And then, yeah. And then from there, it's kind of like you can catch yourself like, oh my goodness. For me, it's like I was about to play that game. For some of you, I was about to get on the telephone. I was about to figure out something for my husband to do, or my wife to. Like, we do things that are automatic, set patterns, kind of.
Yes.
That stop us from really, one, in this conversation, creating a turning point, and two, to have what you want, or to accomplish or achieve your goals.
Yes. Yes. A series of small actions completely correlated to the outcome I want creates that turning point. They're just really small actions. Like right now, I have a sales team, right? And we are creating some miracles in our business.
Wow.
But how are we creating that? We only concentrate. The only thing we concentrate on is creating an appointment where people can give us an undivided attention for 30 minutes.
Wow.
That's the only thing we concentrate on. And so the way that looks like in my business, in my field, right? And whoever is listening, it looks completely different in your business, right? But in my field, it looks like I have a conversation with the sales team where it says, hey, read this script when you talk to the ideal client. and the script something like, hey, I'm working with a company with over 30 years of experience in the training and development field, in training management teams, in creating an environment of high performance while undoing dysfunctional culture. Something like that.
Yes.
And we got to say it a bit slower. And then they say, oh, really? How do you do that? Can we set up a time? I know I got you in the middle of our workflow. Can we set up a time where we can talk about it? And then then from there, we'll be in each other's radar. If this is a good fit for you, if it's not, then you'll know what we're doing. That's all it is. That's all it is. That simple phone call, owning the opportunity of that conversation, and then setting up that 30 minutes. Concentrating on that small little action causes the breakthrough. That little action causes the breakthrough. So in anyone's life, in anyone's business, it's about discovering what is that little action that I know causes the domino effect of that breakthrough. What is that little action? And so lately I've become a runner, but I have never run in my life.
Wow. No wonder you're looking so much more handsome today. Go ahead, Gio.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. I have never been a runner. Never.
Wow.
It just running always occurred to me as really boring. I love playing tennis. I love playing soccer, but I can't play tennis every day for 15 minutes. That is just difficult, right?
Yeah.
So then I saw this. Well, what is the one action, the small, tiny action that will trigger me running? Right? What is that small, tiny, little one? And so what I discovered was that if I put my tennis shoes next to the bed when I wake up in the morning, and I'm like waking up wanting to do anything but running, but I kind of see the shoes, then I'm like, fuck it. Let me just run. Let me just do it.
Right.
So then I pick a really small goal at the beginning, which was going at the end of my cul-de-sac and then coming back. That was just tiny little small goal. Just put on the shoes, go to the end of the cul-de-sac and come back. And that's all my goal is. But it's so small that my brain thinks I can do that. But the reward of doing it is as if I had just run 30 minutes. So now I'm doing it every day. Now I go to the end of the other cul-de-sac and it's an uphill. My heart is beating faster, but I'm not taking it to a huge goal. I'm still keeping it as my little goal to go to the end of the cul-de-sac.
Wow.
It has become a domino effect that at the end, maybe I'll run a marathon and then you'll think, well, wow, that guy is really disciplined. No, I just learned which one is the little thing that my brain can do, and then I'll go from there.
It's really great. That's really awesome. So, we speak every Monday morning to get you going, to put some fire in your engine so that you have a magical week. So, Giovanni, tell us first of all, tell us why we should take the course this Saturday. Well, no, it's the 20th of March 20th at 3:00. It's on Zoom, it's virtual. Tell us why we could take it or what's in it for us, and then tell us how we can do that.
Yeah, for me, this is one of the most magical conversations that people can have. We're going to be exploring, it's a little bit like a journey, like a little 3-hour journey where we're going to be exploring how much, everything that you already know limits you from creating a turning point in your life. So it's a real cool exploration because we know a lot and we're very effective, but somehow everything that we know stops us from creating a turning point. So we're going to explore that. And then we're going to explore that conversation we were just having. What are the sensations? What are the body sensations that get in the way of me being in small actions that causes a turning point? What are those small body sensations? And we're going to explore that. And what is my relationship to those things? And then at the end, as we land that trip, then we're going to be looking at a little tiny milestone plan, a little business plan or a little campaign or just a little roadmap that will give you access and leave you with the roadmap from the turning point. So it's a very powerful little conversation. I say it's little because for us, 3 hours is little, given that we lead courses for 2 days.
That's right.
Right? For some people, it's like 3 hours. Oh my gosh. But this is very small. It will fly you by. And then in the chat, you know, you can see it in the chat. I'm going to put it there again. It's you go to turning.expert, and then you can register there.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being with us this morning on Coaches and Coffee. For everyone out there who's listening, you know, every week we have a word for the week. And this week, our word for the week, and I really did get this from yesterday, was really professional. Being a profession in your field, being a professional at what you do, being a professional at taking on new things, like participating in the Turning Point this week. So our word for the week is professional or being a pro. And your job, have a great week, have a magical week, and have a great Monday. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Thank you, Sheila. Bye-bye.
All right.